Hey guys, Rob Boehner, producer at LiveX here, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Blackmagic URSA broadcast camera. I will also be unboxing the ATEM 4ME Broadcast Studio 4K, as well as the ATEM 1ME Advanced Panel. All of these products were announced last week by Grant Petty in his live stream for Blackmagic Design. You'll have to check out another video to see the ATEM 1ME Advanced Panel being unboxed, as well as the ATEM 4ME Broadcast Studio 4K. For right now, we're just gonna focus on the URSA broadcast camera. So let me throw these underneath the table and we'll get right into it. So the URSA broadcast camera is a 2/3 inch 4K camera brought to you by Blackmagic Design. It was developed with broadcasters in mind, and here it is. Very much like the other URSA Mini Pro that you see behind me, that this is also being filmed on. The big differences between this and the URSA Mini Pro is this has a 2/3 inch sensor. The URSA Mini Pro has a Super 35 sensor and is 4.6K. This one is limited to 4K resolution. So, in this little box, you have the power supply. Not much to see here. It is the 4-pin DMX power, and you're gonna need an IEC cable. So don't forget to get an IEC cable to go into here if you wanna use this camera right away. That is the only power solution that comes with this camera. As you can see on the back, it has a gap here that allows you to slot on a V-mount back, which they sell separately. This also can be just covered up if you're planning on using it in the studio with this plate right here. So as I dump out the screws, let me throw those back. But essentially, the operation and the ergonomics of this camera is no different than the URSA Mini Pro camera, the Super 35 sensor one, but there's a huge difference under the hood, and that is the 4K 2/3 inch sensor. So the 2/3 inch sensor is what traditional broadcast cameras use, and it allows you to use 4K B-mount lenses, 2/3 inch lenses. You can use Legacy HD 2/3 inch lenses. We have a great review of how that differs in Ready Take Live's episode 109, where we talk all about the new product offerings from Blackmagic for broadcasters. So you're gonna want to take a look at that if you're interested. There we go. So that's the sensor. On the side here, what you'll notice on the side panel is that it has a lot of functionality for program focus iris, still hold, time code, brightness of your monitor here. This comes with a fold-out LCD monitor that is very similar to like the Blackmagic Video Assist, which is also a recorder. And the fold-out monitor is the only monitoring solution that comes with it. However, you can order an additional Blackmagic EVF for this camera that's really, really nice. I will say one accessory that you're gonna wanna order no matter what you do is the shoulder mount kit. What that does is it also gives you the top handle. It's a really nice accessory to have. It's called the URSA Mini Shoulder Mount Kit. Highly recommend getting that if that's going to be the only accessory that you get. For here in the studio, you can also get a studio viewfinder, which you'll see behind me. This is the studio viewfinder right here. It's really nice. It gives tally, it gives program return, it gives everything that you would need for using this in a studio, and if you're gonna use it in the field and you wanna give your operators a bigger monitor to find focus on and get framing. So back to the camera itself. On the inside here, you'll notice there are SD card slots and CFast card slots, 2 of each. The SD card slots can record HD, obviously, and some versions of ProRes. If you want to get the most out of this camera and record RAW, you're gonna need CFast cards. I will also say that there is a reason why there are 2 slots. more than just being able to hot swap them. If you are going to record RAW, what Blackmagic does with these cameras is they write even number frames and odd number frames on different cards, and then you put them all back into one folder to create your video. They do that because of the immense read and write speed that you need for 4K video. On top of the camera, you'll notice there is audio inputs. It's kind of weird the way they place these right on top, but it is so that it doesn't get in the way of your power solution, and you have a lot of connections here on the side. So let's talk about those. The connections that you're going to get out of this camera are SDI out, SDI in, ref, and timecode in. The important thing to note is that it also has an SDI out over here. This is limited to HD, whereas the one on the back is a 12G. This is a 3G connector up front. The one on the back is a 12G connection, 12G SDI, that allows you to get 4K right out of it. The SDI in source right over here is very important because this is how you're going to control color from your camera. So anybody who's familiar with URSA and ATEM functionality, you can use DaVinci style color wheels in ATEM to control the color science and get the look that you want out of this camera. You can also store LUTs directly from DaVinci Resolve or another program that can generate 3D cube LUTs, and that is the only color functionality that you have in the camera. Blackmagic also recently announced, but not shipping until May or June, a paint box, a Blackmagic camera control unit that is similar to other RCPs that broadcasters have used for years, and it'll allow you to have basic functions that all RCPs and CCU-backed cameras can use. I will say they also announced a fiber back for this camera that is probably the way you're going to go if you're in a big facility, big venue, and you need to move signal a long distance. So the fiber back will also go right in here. The one downside of the fiber back is that it uses these connections, but it will provide power as well as signal back and forth and camera control. On the side, one more time here. Right here is the adjustment for the iris. If you're not having the V1 do it back at Video Village, or you can switch this to headphone or monitor. And then there's easy access to the menu here. ISO, gain, shutter, and white balance are all right on top here, as well as some programmable, assignable function buttons and the record as well. Here's your audio trim down in here. And that is pretty much it. The side of the camera comes ready for a handle mount. You can get a handle here which has just a couple of basic functions like record and I think auto iris as well. I'm not sure offhand. But anyway, the handle is a really good tool as well. And don't forget that shoulder mount kit. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the URSA Broadcast 4K camera. 2/3 inch sensor, 4K resolution, takes B4 mount, 2/3 inch traditional broadcast lenses. I know a lot of you will be excited that you can use your old lenses, but don't forget to get a 4K B4 mount lens to see what you can get out of this camera. If you like this video, hit subscribe down below at LiveX Production. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and for LiveX, I'm Rob Baynard, and this has been another unboxing. Take care, guys.